Everywhere we go now, blessings follow me, go. Plenty, mula, nikowaka, chijo, blessings follow me, go. It's a cycle. So when you're going through that creative block moment, you just have to dig deep and understand that nothing is inspiring you within the radius that you're in. You know, maybe leaving that space helps.
Yo, what's up guys? Your main man here, JayDany. Welcome to the Creative Joint. So in today's episode, we have an incredible and amazing, super talented musician. He is a guitarist, a recording producer, and some guy that has put in almost 2 decades of his life into the creative space. He's none other than my homeboy and my brother of long time ago, GT the Guitarman. Welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you very much, JayDany.
Nice to have you, brother. Look, man, I was just going through like most of your videos from way back. Like when I mean way back, come on, you've been here for almost 20 years.
I be like play.
Like play, man. Come on, man. It's actually not been, you know, I actually said this is what, you know, consistency should be. And you've actually proven that you can still do that, right? And hold on to what you're called to do.
Yeah.
So talk to us about this journey of almost 20 years. How did you get to that point of realizing, now waiting I want to be this for like as long as it takes? How did you get to that point of making that decision that GT the Guitarman, I want to be a musician?
I think it's purpose. You know, when you're fulfilling purpose, it's like asking the apple tree, you know, when it was just a seed, you know, and saying, how did you know, at what point did you know that you were going to be an apple?
Exactly.
You know, I think it's just we think that we are in charge, but, you know, maybe there's something pushing us. And every journey is, you know, is beautiful, you know. Yeah. Some people look at my timeline so far and they would say that, you know, GT, you've not been serious, you left the music industry at some point.
Yeah.
You know, but consistency, like you said in the beginning, is that snap back as long as it keeps coming. You know, because you would always, you know, but as long as the snap back keeps coming, you know. I just found myself as a musician because I'm always crazy about music.
Yeah.
You know, my attention, my focus has been centered around music for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
You know, and I found myself in rooms where musicians like myself are gathered, you know, and music lovers who are ready to listen.
Yeah.
You know, so I just think I've just been lucky. You know, so whenever I need to express myself, I bring out something, and I think musicians really don't know the power that they carry, because music is it's a tool for communication. You know, we're like the only ones that can talk to like a crowd with a universal language.
Exactly.
You know,
and everyone understands.
You know, and I think today's musician, I think the onus is on us to ensure that we use that voice and that gift, that power, effectively, you know, to speak for the people.
True.
You know, so at what point did I realize?
Exactly. Look, I actually am still going to hold you to this, because, you know, it's really amazing how one just starts, and just like you're saying, just like an apple seed, you know that this definitely you're going to grow to become a tree, right? Eventually. But the point is, there's always like a turning point, right? That you would say, this is where I really knew I could do this. This is where I got to, and I just decided, music. What was that turning point for you like, and when was that? Of course, it must be years ago.
Sincerely, like talking in retrospect, it's easy.
Okay.
You know, but the truth is, every of my step has just been, you know, towards that direction. You know, it's like I can't do any other thing than just be a musician. And trust me, indeed, I have tried to do other things.
Okay.
And I keep snapping back to this.
Yeah.
You know, and so that tells me that this is all that the self wants, you know, because it's been from when I was a child.
Okay.
You know, my sister would bring songs home. She was a member of the choir. But even before that, my mom And my mom was a member of the choir too.
Okay.
And my dad he had a huge collection of Ebenezer Obey, Sonia Day, and the likes.
Now that you're talking to us.
So we would listen. I mean, so you see, music is everywhere. You know, it's for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, even if you don't want to listen to music, it's everywhere. National anthem and everything. But I'm talking about the insane obsession.
Yeah.
If you don't have that insane obsession, you can't cross to that point that we're talking about.
True. So I'm also like, while we're talking of, I mentioned that I was listening to some of your songs last night, and I was like comparing the songs you made like 16, 14 years ago, and I listened to your current single, in fact, 2 of them, and like this similarity is just so clear that, look, this guy has his style. All right, this is GT, the guitarist. You can't change him for any reason,
I guess.
So what's making you stay true to that particular style of music as a musician? Because, we have trends. Everybody's doing like this. Let's do this. This is what is selling in the market. This is what everybody thinks it should be like. But for you, look, this consistency is being apt, man. So how are you able to do that?
I mean, over the years, I've done several types of songs, even in a bid to join the trend. On the EP, I had different types of songs. I had a song called No Evidence, and Nama Piano Joint.
Yeah, I listened to that as well.
So I did all sorts, and over the years, I don't even know who I am myself.
Okay.
Every day, I am opening myself up to different possibilities.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've gotten to that point where I see everything as just ego,
Yeah.
and I can build up anything, I can bring it down and rebuild it just for my own pleasure.
Yeah.
So who is GT 2.0?
Okay.
That should be the, because I mean there's a sound that I'm trying to bring out now.
Okay.
And I'm also looking forward to it.
Look, man, I don't know if the question, I didn't craft it properly, but I think, look, what I'm trying to say is...
Trust me, I get your question.
Your consistency in your sound.
Yeah.
Look, forget whether now...
That's what those reviewing. You are the one reviewing.
I'm a piano with the talk. Oh, na so. There's this element that just is in your face that, this is GT.
Wow.
And that's a beautiful thing, yes. Truly, I'm trying to just compliment you here, man.
Trust me.
And I'm telling you, it's beautiful. So we are asking on the creative joint, tell our viewers, how they drum. So in case someone won't ask, make you cut soap for them. Like, look, seriously, I'm a musician.
Yeah.
I produce for other musicians. I produce for myself.
Yeah.
I know what it means. Like sometimes you get to a point like you really like you're losing your sound. It's not in the genre. It's not in the beat that you're vibing to, but every musician, I believe, has this uniqueness and this sound. So you get to that point, you're like, be like, I don't lose that more. Maybe you are following, you're trying to. But look, man, I'm telling you, look, I could find that as a record producer myself. I could find that consistent element of who GT is. So, can you tell us in few words how they drum?
So again, thank you very much.
Okay.
You are the observer.
Yeah.
You're observing the GT brand and what I'm doing. I don't spend that much time observing what I'm trying to do, because trust me, in fact, if I'm to think back at when the younger me was so much into music, I wasn't following any rule. I was just expressing myself the way I wanted to. It wasn't that deep, really.
Of course.
And what makes you different makes you beautiful. Maybe that's the edge I had, and really, I don't put too much thought into it. I just think of the melody, and like I'll say, if he didn't day, he didn't day.
He didn't day.
If he's not there. So if you're saying I should cut the soap for someone and tell them how am I doing it, I also don't know. We all, which is why I centered it around the insane obsession that I have for music. And we all have insane obsessions for something, and in that particular thing we blossom. For every one of us, every human being out there, for everything you put your attention into, it will become great.
True.
So I really don't. Maybe I should take the accolade. I'm taking it. Thank you very much.
You should take it.
Thank you very much. It's beautiful. I appreciate. But still, I just say, hey, anybody can do it. If you really put your attention into it and your focus into it, it will happen.
I think I can buy that, because what you definitely give time to, and just over a period of time, you give yourself to, you give all that you have into it. Definitely, it will blossom. I think I buy that. Let's move personally to your songs. Of course, you must have produced an array of songs that, of course, sometimes you lost count, right?
Yeah.
What particular song would you say in all of your project, one of your best, you would say, Omo, this is my best effort so far?
Honestly, it's hard, and if you ask any creative to pick, it's going to be hard.
I know, but usually, look, deep down, they would know, look, Omo, maybe because of the way the song is hitting you. For me, most times, it has to do with the kind of project that I actually use my life as an example. I don't know if you understand, like something I could relate with deeply. Like most of my songs, I write from personal place of, my experiences generally. So maybe something like that. I don't know for you, but
well, for me, it's a combination of everything. Sometimes I'm writing from personal experience. Sometimes anything can inspire me, because inspiration is the key word. It's not compulsory that it's my personal experience. It could be your experience. It could be the movie I just saw.
The next person.
Yeah. So it's
Okay. So it's not particular project that you would mention. They are all
okay. When it comes to, I can give you different examples. For example,
but that's what we're asking for.
When it comes to like thinking of Africa generally, because Africa is I have passion for Africa. For the black race.
Okay, so that was the song you mentioned in the
Arise Africa. Africa. I'm very passionate about Africa and our youth and how we intend to make this beautiful nation great.
A heaven, like we're even looking at, Okay, amazing. Okay, so let's talk about some creative issues now. Now, as a creative, you're a musician, you produce, and you're a performer. How do you ensure that you stay creative, especially when it comes to writing of songs? Because we are in this, of course, in this era, it's very easy. Like you could you could actually pay, hire someone to write songs for you. I understand most of your songs, you write them yourself, right?
Yeah, most.
Good, most of your songs. So how do you stay creative in that line, like when it comes to putting out new sounds, to make sure, look, because there's a time you just pick up a pen and nothing is coming, right? You could hear a beat, you try to write. So for you, how do you ensure that you're always fresh, whenever you want to write, you write meaningful songs and stuff?
So it's a cycle most times. Creative blocks, just like the ocean will recede and then it's a cycle. Again. Yeah, okay. It's a cycle. So when you're going through that creative block moment, you just have to dig deep and understand that nothing is inspiring you within the radius that you're in. Maybe leaving that space helps. Probably listening to something different helps. Okay. So there's an array of things that can help. Get one out of that space. So because it's it's a mind problem.
Of course it is.
And I've had my fair share of it. Leaving the industry for almost like 10 years and then wanting to come back, and I eventually came up with an EP called LOD. It wasn't easy even finding my sound. True. Because at some point I forgot who I was. Exactly. I really don't talk about that a lot, but the mental struggles of musicians, of creatives, is something that we don't prioritize in Africa or Nigeria. And the truth is, leaving the music industry for 10 years and coming back, you have no idea what it has taken.
I know.
You have no idea what it has taken. I mean, a lot of people say, nobody has ever done it before, leave the industry. I mean, someone even wanted to invest in my music at some point, and it was like, GT, before I can invest in your music, you'd have to explain to me how your brand value came from that point to this point. And I'm like, it was just a decision to just stay off and go do something else. It wasn't that deep, and you see, during the moment when I stayed off the music space, I had an amazing time, I was a miner. I was a salesperson.
Okay.
I traded the stock market.
Oh, like making more money, like you are not seeing in the music space or what?
No, it wasn't that. It was,
Okay.
you know, if you've done something consistently for this long, you know, sometimes it's okay to want to explore some other sides of you and then come back to it.
True
like I'm
that.
back now.
I believe that.
You know, and people make such a big deal,
Of course.
you know, over it, but it's really not that deep. You know, you should be able to.
And also as humans, of course, there's this studies that showed, you know, at some point that, of course, if you're just doing one particular thing in life, like your brain, you're only utilizing like 1%.
Absolutely.
And I believe that because, of course, I also am of the opinion that it shouldn't just, especially in this our generation, that there's a lot you can do even from your space, like in your house without moving. You can do a lot, you know. With the digital world that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So I buy that. All right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about you being three things in one. You are a guitarist, you are a record producer, you are a musician. That means so
I'm also an actor.
you are you see, and now then we've been talking about being a miner, a business person,
yeah,
and
a forex trader, you know, and all that. The question is,
how do you juggle all of this together and you know you see the survive with you know?
I mean, I'm just having fun. I came to this world intentionally to have fun, you know, and it's very important for us to have fun, you know, and explore as much as we can. You know, in fact, these things are the experiences that I now put into songs. You know, I like to see from other people's perspectives.
Yeah.
We can say that I was doing my feasibility studies. You can call it that.
Of course.
You know, I also study economics, by the way. And by the side, I have the CCNA certification and Cybersecurity Plus, you know, certification in the bag. But, so, to a large extent, I am someone who is very, I like to develop myself, you know, as much as I can. You know, all this certification, it's not like they mean anything to me, but I just want to challenge myself and then get it, you know. If I can, why not? Why don't you get it? You know, so the greatest challenge that GT is facing right now is that comeback, and I love it. I mean, a lot of people say GT, nobody has left the industry and then come, and I'm like, oh, wow, this looks like something GT would love to do. And we've taken the first step. We've released the EP, LOD. It's a 5-tracker EP. I just didn't come with the same GT guitar thing.
Yeah.
I decided to take it a notch higher, and I gave them different styles.
Heard some of my pianos there, some poppy vibes there.
Because I can, you know,
of course.
and people love it. We just dropped the first video of the EP, and then this is just the first body of work. We're about to bring out another one, you know, so I'm just having fun.
That's hot.
I'm just having fun.
All right, so we're going to go to a quick break now, but before we do so, let's talk about your being a guitarist and of course you're singing. Which of them came first? Like learning to play the guitar, singing started singing.
Yeah, and then I met this, I mean, growing up, I formed a lot of groups with my childhood friends, Wale Oshadare and Shegun Baseki. The first group was called Pairs of Gloves. Why we named it that, I don't know. You know, that should be like 1999. Yeah, I wrote my first song in 1999.
Okay.
You know, we would perform in churches. Then I joined another group called 4 Generations. You know, most of these guys, they're no longer interested in music, but I guess I was the one that was able to like push the whole thing.
Push further,
And hey, here we are.
Okay. So guitar first.
Guitar, no, music.
Sorry, music first.
Yeah, then I met how I came in contact with the guitar. Maybe I should tell you the story. A guy called John Akombi. I saw him on the street in Amuodofin because I grew up in Mautu, Amuodofin Estate. Shout outs to my people there.
All right.
And I saw him for the very first time holding a guitar, and it would just walk on the street and keep singing melodious tunes while playing his guitar. And it felt like heaven.
Wow.
You know, then I was like, sir, can I touch your guitar? And he allowed me. And I was like, I'd like to learn. He said, I need to get my own guitar first. Then I need to pay for tutorial fees. Then I was like, okay. Then I drew strings on a plank of wood at home. I started reading. I started E, A, D, G, B, E, and all that. I started learning and saying,
chords,
okay. Yeah, I started learning the chords. And I went back to John. I said, okay, Mr. John, I'm learning some things. Can I play them on your guitar? And I played and I was like, okay. He said, where did you learn this? I said, on the internet, I read some books, and he was like, oh, really? Then he started giving me his guitar to play with. I'll go to his house. He gave me books. I started reading, and that's how I'm a self-taught guitarist.
Wow.
Then a friend of my sister's saw me, and he saw that I was trying to raise money to get a guitar because I had this thing, Yorubas call it kolo.
Okay.
So paint buckets, those small 4 liter, is it 4 liter? Paint bucket. I sealed it tight, and then I created a hole on top, and I wrote something like an inscription. I said, help buy a guitar box. Don't just do the talks, but put your hand in your purse and bring some money out for us. So everybody that
You're
came,
kidding me. That was creative,
yeah.
man.
So everybody that came visiting, they saw that and they tried contributing, but hey, I wasn't able to raise that. So Samuel Ekpanyang, he gave me his guitar, old guitar. I did repair works on it, and that's how it started.
Wow.
And hey.
And the rest is history, man.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff.
It's an insane passion, like
it is. It is. Look, it can only take a man of passion to do that. Go all the way. Like, that's why I tell creatives of today, like, they really want things served on a platter of gold for them. They just want to sit back without really, wanting to pay the price for wanting this thing.
If you want it enough, you will.
Of course, you go for it.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, so we're coming back to you guys. So we're here still with an amazing, multi-talented creative here on the show today. He is a singer, a guitarist, a record producer, and he spends loads of years in the industry. That means this guy don't pay dues, like they talk out for Niger. All right, so we're going to go into a quick game segment. But before we do that, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, kindly do so right now. Leave us a subscription, leave us a comment, a like. Tell us what next you want to see on the show, who else you want to see on the show. If you have a favorite celebrity out there, you want us to bring him to the show, you never know. Come on, just comment, all right? And ring that bell so whenever we share content, you'll be the first to know. All right, GT, let's go to the quick game segment.
Wow.
It's called the quick fire segment. So that means in 60 seconds.
It's quick fire.
It's quick fire, yeah, as the name implies. So it means in 60 seconds, you're going to try to answer as many questions as possible. I think we have 14 questions, all right? So in 60 seconds. And then this is the simple rule. So if there's any question that you can't find an immediate answer to, you can say pass. All right. So that's the only time that we can move to the next set of questions.
Okay. Right? So help me God.
It's going to be sharp. Don't worry. You're going to get it. You're going to clear this one already. Timekeeper, you're ready. And our time starts now. So if your life were a song, what would be the title of the song?
Empty.
Okay. If you could magically master any instrument other than the guitar, which instrument would it be?
My voice still.
Okay. If you could use 3 words to describe your sound, what would it be?
Spiritual, revolutionary, the truth.
If you could collaborate with any legendary figure globally, who will it be?
I love Indiari a lot.
Okay. Which came first? Your love for singing or your love for playing the guitar?
For singing, obviously.
Okay. If your music were a Yoruba dish, which one would it be?
It should be Amala Gbegiri.
I know. What's your favorite time of the day for inspiration? Day or night?
I'm a night person.
Okay. What's your favorite Nigerian food to eat before a recording session?
It's just rice and stew for me.
Name 2 of your biggest musical influences growing up.
Sonny Ade, definitely. Plantation Boys, oh my God.
In your estimation, who's the current sexiest female musician in Nigeria?
I and my wife were always arguing between Ira Star and Thames.
Okay, so who? Choose one.
Don't let me choose.
Okay, so pass. That's a pass. If you weren't a musician, what career would you be chasing?
A lot. Minor. I'll be a minor.
Okay, so last question. You're almost there. What's your favorite way of unwinding after a long day at the studio?
I just sleep.
Oh, that's your way. Okay, and our time is up. Amazingly, see, you've been able to clear the 14 questions, and we're going to see how many you've been able to get correctly on this.
Is there a right answer? There's no right answer. These are my questions now.
These are your questions. Yeah, but I mean, look, sometimes you can still get to that space. You don't remember.
Like for example, like Amala, and would you tell me that?
Well, I mean, that's why we try to make it, relatable. All right, let's move forward, GT.
Yeah.
So what's your take on the current state of music? Like when you look at the Nigerian music space, by extension, the African music space, compared to what it was 20 years ago, what's your take on the current state of the music scene right now in Africa and Nigeria?
Like, I am impressed. You know, we don't have a music industry.
Okay.
You know, but we do have. I mean, I see.
Why do you say so?
I don't think we have we don't have a music industry. The reason is because we don't have a music industry. Simple. You know, it's a global industry now where somehow P-Man, I don't think they've done anything in a long time that's worth, you know, noting, or maybe their influence has really helped upcoming musicians to, you know, pop up. Or when was the last time you heard of any musician blowing up in Ajegunle?
Yeah.
You know, when was the last time? You know, I don't think we have we don't have an industry that is nurturing talent or easing the burden on the upcoming.
Or that's you providing some support, you know, to the musicians.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't find one Yahoo boy who is going to invest in you, you'll be praying that those people who work hard for their money and they will never even spare it. Those who work hard for their money, they know the value. They would, you know, so it's
It's actually a thing, you know, I mentioned, or one of the guests on the show last week mentioned, and, you know, I really can relate because I know I once tried to contest, you know, in my home state then, the River State, you know, as, you know, one of the positions in P-Man, and it's really terrible that this is a body that is supposed to be responsible for the growth and, you know, the welfare of musicians, and they're like really non-existent.
Don't really get me wrong. I mean, they are trying because I mean, P-Man office, their office is in Chevyview.
But what are the policies? Like, what are they doing? Because I would like to know.
It would be nice.
It's been a long time I actually attended any of the meetings, so that's why I've lost touch, really.
I mean, I'm just looking for impact, really. Like,
but that's what we're talking about.
Well, it's not about even existing. It's about the impact.
Of course, you're existing and you're doing nothing. What's the point?
Yeah, but so to your question.
Yeah.
I mean, I see Burna Boy. I see what he's doing, selling out arenas. You know, very inspiring. And you know, for someone like us who left, those are the little things that we're seeing and like, oh, hey, this thing is possible.
It's possible.
This guy is, they did it. You know, we're seeing Wizkid, we're seeing Davido, we're seeing Adekunle Gold, Simi, Johnny Drill. You know, all these amazing guys. They are very inspiring. You know, they have done amazingly well for themselves. You know, and hey, it's something that gives me joy.
Of course.
Yeah.
That you're proud of. Of course, when we look at, you know, these guys doing it, not just in Africa, but
globally.
In global stage, it's really amazing that you're really proud. For me, once I watch that, I just smile. I just, oh, look, these are my brothers.
Yeah.
If you know me too well, whenever I see these guys doing their thing on the global stage, like, I just smile because it gives me some level of joy.
And you see, even more than what the music industry is doing, or that's if I told you we don't have a music industry, is that inspiration part of it. They have been able to tell us that this is possible. You know, and that in itself is inspiring.
With or without an industry or support and the rest. Yeah. And amazing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, for you, one thing that if you could change in the industry right now, what would it be?
I've gotten to a point where I just accept everything completely.
No, don't accept now. Just accept. You know, if you keep accepting, look, if someone keep putting poison in this cup for you, say drink, because you have to drink fast. You drink all the time. That's how it's going to get chilled. At some point, you won't be able to raise your hand to, like, drink from the cup. The point is, we have to get to a point, which is what we spoke about as well with the guests on the show about, you know, the protest thing currently going on. We said, look, we Nigerians, we're very good at like taking stuff. We keep taking stuff because now the way it be now, we leave up. We don't speak up. Look, but we will definitely have to get to a point where we say, look, we can't take this anymore. So it doesn't mean that you're going to do that immediately. Look, there must be something that, you know, in your mind, in your heart of heart, right? If you could change, I really wish this thing, they drum like this.
It's a waste of wish. You know why?
Don't waste it, man. You never know. You never know who's watching.
So what will happen? Some magic thing will happen.
Okay. Well,
and it will make
you and I were talking.
It will make the entire industry.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Okay, so if I, for example, if I were in the position of authority, then I'll come from there.
Okay.
So if I were in position of authority and I'm like the head of some creative, you know, I would try to look out for more talent, you know, in the rural areas, you know, budding talents, you know, because I know what I can generate, you know, from these guys. And Nigeria is not a producing country. You know, we're not producing anything. I think it's fair to say that.
Entertainment, we're producing. I can tell that.
No, I'm talking, okay, well, yeah. But I'm saying... See,
they're like our most expensive export right now in entertainment.
I agree.
Music, especially.
I'm talking... okay. Yeah. So, like, I'm saying, we do not have a lot of industries, you know, that can, you know, provide jobs for our youth. You know, and entertainment is something that is looking like, you know, with or without government intervention, it's been, you know, sustaining the youth. It's been keeping them busy.
True.
It's a place where they've been putting their energy and they're getting returns. You know, so I'll definitely invest more into, you know, ensuring that the ones that are really talented amongst them, we can fish them out and then create the platforms for them to thrive.
Support,
you know, and then... I think that's what I'll change.
Okay.
You know, we don't have that intentionality. Yeah, I know we have a lot of competitions. You know, here and there, and people are winning these competitions, but at the end of the day, they go back to their
You know, so. You know, just like we had one of the winners of the competition on the show some time ago, and he was saying exactly what you're saying. Like most of these platforms, they don't even have like a mechanism where like they check back on the progress of most of these guys that even gets to the final, you know. And it's like, okay, you are here, people were seeing you on TV at some point, and the rest in 2 months after, you know, like 2 months down the line, you're like, nobody knows anything.
Which makes us wonder what their intentions are in the first place, whether it's a profit making motive or it was indeed to help
to build,
you know. So
true.
Yeah.
Well, we can only hope for the best, you know, like we're always very positive on the show anyways, because that's what we do. We believe that things can always get better, all right? Regardless of what it is currently, we can always do better. So as a people, as a nation, we believe we'll get to a point. If it's a problem of leadership, if it's a problem of, I don't know, so we somehow will find a way around it.
Even indecision, you know, it's a decision. You know,
of course.
The current state of the nation is a decision by some people.
True.
You know, that's the reason why I'm like, you know, when the nation really wants to change, you know, or the music industry and musicians feel like, okay, this is really beautiful, let's support. I mean, the government feels like, okay, let's support the music industry. They will come up. They are not blind.
Of course.
You know, so you see, I can't do anything about it. You know.
Never say that. All right, look, just airing your opinion and your voice. You never know who's listening.
I'd rather hear my own opinion.
Don't worry
myself,
about it.
On my own talent.
The creative joint is hearing your opinion, and you never know where this production is going to get you anyways.
I think I did.
Yeah, so you just did, and we appreciate that. And it's really, really valid and germane, I must tell you. So let's talk about you. Of course, make we leave Nigeria waka. They talk to a problem, no they finish.
Make you try to enjoy.
So now you're going back to the studio and you're coming back with all this energy, all this vibe and the rest. What's really pushing you and giving you that momentum? Like, because it's not easy to keep going. Look, I, for instance, as a recording musician, in the last 2 years, I haven't put out any personal song. Does it mean I no longer do music? No, I still do music, but you see this energy, just like you're mentioning, where you're not getting so much push. You're like, you're the one pushing, you are your producer, you're your marketer, you're your label, you're your everything. So what's giving you this morale? Like my people go ask to like keep pushing.
Thank you. So I think the problem that we have as musicians is that we want to be successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're already a success.
Okay.
You know, we are chasing after the numbers, we're chasing after the accolades, when we can be true to the music, you know, because we are just meant to be writing and write, sing, put it out. You know, that's our job.
Yeah.
You know, but most times musicians are too focused on success and whatever that means, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, it's already a success when you write a song and then push it out. If one person says that song is good, then it's already a success. Move on to the next one. You see, there's this thing called blow. that is causing
everybody's
mental
crazy about.
ish in
People want to do all
people's
manner of
heads.
things to get to that space. Right?
Yeah, people look themselves less, you know, when certain numbers are not, you know, numbering.
Yeah, like they want to see the numbers and they're
Yeah, and then they become depressed and they stop becoming creative, or they stop churning out music. I think I was there, you know, at some point, and realizing how stupid it was, you know, is enough reason to get back doing what I know how to do best. Because it's not, the success is not the reason why I'm doing music. I'm doing music because I got something to say, you know, and if people think that, okay, they connect with it so much and it comes with anything, that's good, you know, but I want it to come with everything that I want anyway. But hey, I think the presence of it or the lack of it shouldn't be the determinant for, you know, being a musician.
Amazing. I like that point. Talk to us about any upcoming projects. Of course, you mentioned a couple. You mentioned your EP. You want to talk to us about in details what this is about, and you know, maybe any other projects that's coming. Let's hear it.
Okay, so I dropped the LOD EP on the 8th of March 2024.
Okay.
And it's everywhere online, and we just shot the video for the first single, Flaws, and it's everywhere. It's playing everywhere on every platform. And I'm really excited about it because I mean it's my first body of work in about 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
You know, and why I waited that long, I'll never be able to tell.
Yeah.
You know, and but it's interesting. It's an interesting time to be alive. You know?
Of course it is.
And knowing that, you know, you can do it again. That gives me a lot of chills. And
I still have it, you know, after 10 years.
Yeah.
Because this is something that can actually leave you.
I just stay focused in the now, you know, and I look at what's the next thing to do, what's the most important thing to do, like right now. And that's what is important to me. Yeah. You know, tomorrow is not important. I might not even be a part of it. You know, I hope to be a part of it, but there will be a tomorrow that every one of us.
That you never know what it holds, you know.
Yeah, so I'm so focused on now. I wake up in the morning and I'm thinking, okay, how do I intend to expend my energy?
Yeah.
And I go ahead and I have fun.
Okay, amazing. So we're almost at the end of the show, but before we leave you, of course, which we are coming back to your, you know, private performance. If you want to hear GT, still stay with us. He's going to be performing live on the stage, live on the show rather. I don't they talk stage, yeah? It'd be like that stage.
It's a stage.
Of course, it is a stage. So we're actually coming back with GT performing on the show. So before we do, if you look back, the GT, the Guitarman of 10 years ago, and the GT man of today, the GT, the Guitarman of today, what would be that advice that you would advise that man of 10 years ago, you see? What is there any particular advice you could give him right now?
I'll say keep listening to yourself, keep following your intuitions, you know, and just keep doing what you, because I mean, I tell people, if I don't listen to myself, are you the one I'll listen to? You know, and because it will still take me deciding to listen to you to be able to listen to you. So like, and whatever decision you make, there will be a lot to choose from.
Yeah.
You know, so this one is saying go this way. Eventually, your head will burst and you just go to one corner. In fact, sometimes some people have got it to a point that is any mini manimal that they used to move.
Yeah.
Now, so just do you. Don't overthink things. You know, it's not worth it.
Look, the thing is, in the midst of all the growth, there's still the element of the GT. Okay, like
I thank God.
Like I mentioned, there's you. No one can take away that from you. You know, there's still the element of GT, and we can here on the show wish you nothing but the very best.
Thank you.
In your journey, and we're here to, you know, in our own little way, give our support, which is what we're doing, bringing you to talk about your project and the rest. All right. So we wish you the very best as you promote. Just always come around the studio. The house is open to you.
Definitely.
Right,
thank you.
We're
You
glad
definitely make a beat for me because you're a producer.
So you're welcome at any time, any day. All right, guys. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys, it's been amazing speaking with GT, the Guitarman. He is an amazing vocalist, a musician, record producer, an actor, he just told me. And we've been speaking about loads of creative things he's been doing in the industry. You know, he's been going through a lot and, you know, improving and trying to bring you new sound and everything creative there is to know on the show. So if you haven't subscribed to the show yet, I can't say this enough, kindly do so. Subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment, a like, tell us what you want to see on the show, how best you think we can further improve this show, because that's why we're here, all right, guys? So it's been amazing presenting. JayDany here signing out as we go to GT for live performance here on the show. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
Blessings follow me, go. Everywhere we go now, blessings follow me, go. Plenty, mula, niko akajijo. Blessings follow me, go. Go back you know how to think, go. Blessings follow me, go. Blessings follow me, go. Blessings follow me. What I mean to go, God. Every day, Mount Zion, for la vida loca. Blessings follow me, go. Everywhere we go now, blessings follow me, go. Plenty, mula, niko akajijo. Blessings follow me, go. Go back you know how to think, go. Blessings follow me, go. Thank you very much.